Okay, hi everyone. Today our topic is we're gonna talk about the second lesson about ancient Greece and Rome. Today we're gonna focus on ancient Greece. Um, Next slide, please. So this is our timeline for Greece. So about 3,000 to 1,100 BC. It was aging civilization, which was during the Bronze Age, and then it's the Greek Dark Ages. That is what we're gonna talk about next. And last time we covered aging civilizations or the Bronze Age civilizations of Greece. We'll continue today down the history of ancient Greece, starting with the Greek Dark Ages. The Greek Dark Ages is a preface. It's pretty much like a preface of the ancient Greece, which was really an epic period. Greek Dark Ages, also known as the Homer times, came after the collapse of Mycenaean civilization uh, from 11th century BC to 9th century BC. Um, it was the Greek Dark Ages, and was when the first city-state uh, and it ends when the first city-state was established. And the Homer epics described what happened in this time period. It was an epic. Epic is a long poem narrating history of nations or adventure of individuals, like representative stories, like Trojan Horse or Odyssey, are all from Homer's epics. And so now we're gonna do the reading of Trojan Horse from Homer epics. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was an ancient city named Troy. Troy was located on the coast of Turkey, across the sea from the Greek city-state of Sparta. In those days, people used to build walls around their city to help protect them. Some walls were only a few feet high. Others as much as 20 feet high. The people built gates in the wall. The gates could be opened to let people inside the city. In times of the war, the gates could be closed and locked to stop intruders from getting inside. Along the wall, inside the city, a set of stairs wound up to the top. Warriors could stand at the top of the stairs and shoot arrows down at intruders who are trying to get inside the city. There were also holes built high on the wall. Archers could shoot arrows through this should be through, but not though. Uh, so there should be an R here. The holes as well. If the wall was high enough and strong enough, it could do a pretty good job keeping intruders from coming inside. The walls around Troy were very high and very strong, according to the legend of Trojan horse. For 10 long years, the Greeks had been trying to get over the wall around the city of Troy, but the Greeks couldn't get over the wall, and the Trojans couldn't drive the Greeks away. Year after year they fought, and year after year neither side won. One day, a Greek general, Odysseus, had a tricky idea. Let's pretend to sail away, he suggested. We'll leave a gift for Troy, a gift to announce the end of the war, a wooden horse with 30 men hidden inside. At night, these men can sneak out and open the gate of Troy. That was the way things were done back then. When you admitted defeat, you supplied a gift. It could be a gift of money, art, slaves, anything really. It made sense to leave a gift of art. The Greeks were famous for their art, so this implies that the Spartans may keep the wooden horse as a artwork. They may be deceived by they may be tricked into this idea. The Greeks thought it was a brilliant idea, so they had their best artists build their horse. It was a magnificent horse when it was ready. The Greeks brought the huge wooden horse as close to Troy's city gates as they could get without being shot full of arms. The Greeks pretended to sail away. When the Trojan archers at the top of the stairs saw the Greeks leaving, they couldn't believe their eyes. Were the Greeks giving up at last? Had the Trojans won the war? It certainly appears so. The Trojans dragged the horse inside their city and closed their gates. Some people wanted to burn the horse, which would have been a sad fate for the Greek soldiers hidden inside. But the Trojan people said no, it's too beautiful. We'll keep it for forever as the reminder of our victory. The Greeks had counted on their reaction. The Greeks might be famous for their art, but the Trojans were famous for their bragging. So what is bragging? Bragging is simply to say that I'm the strongest or I'm the wisest man of this world, which is to say to praise yourself, which is bragging. The Greeks were sure the Trojans would want to display the magnificent horse. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened, or so legend says. Um, that night, while the Trojan people slept soundly, exhausted from their celebrations. So what is soundly? Soundly simply means slept safely or calmly or peacefully, and exhausted from their celebrations. Exhausted means that they are tired from their celebrations. And 30 Greek men hidden inside the wooden horse climbed out and opened the gates of Troy and led the Greek army inside. That was the end of Troy. There is an old saying, one still used today, beware of the Greeks bearing gifts. That old saying refers to the legend of the Trojan horse. Um, I'm gonna introduce what is the ancient Greece made up of. So the ancient Greece actually uh, isn't one whole country or a kingdom. So the main political body appeared in the ancient Greece. They are city-states. So city-state is a very unique political body appeared in ancient Greece. It is known as polis in English. Um, it represents citizens and groups of citizens. It is a kind of political community in ancient Greece, with the city as the unit to form an autonomous state. What is called autonomous? It is it means that like the state the people there has a very a large freedom to kind of govern themselves. Among the many city-states in ancient Greece, Athens and Sparta represent two different forms of city-states. The scale of them is relatively small. For example, Sparta has an area of more than 3,000 square miles, and Athens has an area of 1,060 square miles. They are the two largest city-states in ancient Greece, and the other city-states are less than 100 square miles. Sparta and Athens had a population of zero point 0.4 million in their heyday. What is called heyday? Heyday is means a period of time when like some people or some country, they are at their strongest point, which is called their heyday. So in their heyday, they are far more than their population, are far more than other city-states. So the Greek city-state was a small country with few people, and it is also its special characteristic. And the residents live together and support each other, forming a sense of group. They often participate in sports, religion, entertainment, and other activities together, which also makes them have a sense of belonging and identity to the city-states. So normally city-states, they have they have two class, like one is citizen and one is slaves. Like they normally have two broad classes, and like slaves don't have they sort of have kind of their power, but they really have much less power than the the formal citizens. So next slide, please. So I'm gonna talk about the Athenian democracy. Uh, Athens is considered the birthplace of democracy. The word democracy actually came from the Greek words meaning ruled by the people. The city-state was small enough to utilize direct democracy, where people gather in assemblies to make decisions and laws themselves. Today, most democracies are representative democracies due to the larger populations. So representative democracies simply means a smaller region, like for example, um, a state, they have their own representatives to attend a bigger conference to like sort of make the law or elect the president. This form of democracy is different from direct democracy in that in a representative democracy, people elect a small group of people to make decisions and laws on their behalf. So now, how we compare Athens and Sparta. So first, we're gonna look at Sparta. Its politics is oligarchy, which means that the power is controlled by a few people. For example, it's controlled by the royals or aristocracy. Its life is strict, like it's strict, disciplined, which means people are really pressed hard with strict rules or laws. And its ideology is militarism. Militarism means that this country advocates military force and military expansion. It takes militarism and aggressive expansion as the foundation of a country, puts the country under military control and makes politics, economic, and cultural and education serve the ideological and political system of military expansion and foreign war preparation. For example, Japan in World War II is a typical militarism country, and the Sparta's goal is to defeat Athens. So and then we're going to look at Athens. Its politics is slave democracy. It is a unique democracy where slavery still exists, but people can directly participate in the politics, and its culture is very splendid because it has ancient European mythology and, and Olympic games. For example, Athena, Zeus are all from the mythology. The birth, and it is also the birthplace of Western philosophy. Uh, the most the most representative thing of its democracy is the Citizens Congress. So during the meeting, all citizens gathered in one place after publishing the purpose of the meeting. Every citizen is allowed to put forward his views on the proposal. There are two positions, agree or disagree. After all citizens vote or have no spokesperson, check the position and vote of each spokesperson and count the number of votes for and against the proposal. Follow the principle that the minority is subordinate to the majority, and implement or not implement the proposal. So this is telling that like the proposal is based on the opinion of the majority of the citizens. But this also causes problems. This also causes problems like people can do nonsense things like when they become majority. So their goal actually Athens and Sparta belongs to two alliances. So their goal are to defeat each other. So could you continue?
So from 700 to 480 before Common Era was the archaic period of Greece. It lasted about 200 years. At around 8th century BC, Greece emerged from the Greek Dark Ages, and during the Archaic period, the polis or city-states were invented. This period showed significant advances in art, poetry, and technology. During the Archaic period, Greek art became more natural. Paintings on vases evolved from geometric designs to representations of human figures, often illustrating epic tales. In sculptures, faces were animated with the characteristic archaic smile, and bodies were rendered with a growing attention to human proportion and anatomy. Anatomy is the body structure of humans and other organisms. The development of architecture in the Archaic period also reflected a growing concern with harmonious architectural proportions. So this image is of the Bear, a marble statue from 570 BC in the Acropolis Museum in Athens. And this image is of a terracotta neck amphora jar with lid and knob from 540 BC. Following is the classical period, and a major event that happened during the classical period was the Peloponnesian War. The declining relationship between Athens and Sparta led to the Peloponnesian Wars, which began in 431 BC. The war was a contest between Athens, which was a great sea power, and its empire, which was called the Delian League, and Sparta, which was a great land power, with its military coalition of the Peloponnesian League. The first phase of the war ended with a peace treaty in 421 BC, but war broke out again at around 414 BC. Athens launched an amphibious expedition in Sicily. This ended in disaster as the Athens of Marda was destroyed by 413 BC in Cyprus, and in around 404 BC, Athens surrendered to Sparta. That's the end for this week, and thank you for watching and see you next week.